What would really be nice in this report is some counts or some totals. So let's go into layout mode and show how to summarize the data. We don't really need this category field, so I'm going to remove it. And then what we're going to do is add another merge field. So we'll insert merge field. And what we need is a summary field. Now we don't have one yet, so we can easily go to manage database from here. And we'll make a field called count. That's going to be a summary type field. We haven't done one of those yet. The idea behind a summary field is it allows you to total up or count up or average up all the records in the current found set for one field. So here's the types. You have a total, an average, a count, which is what we're going to use here, the minimum of all the values, the maximum of all the records, the standard deviation, which is for statistics, and fraction of total, which is a percent. And then you have some other options down here like running counts or running totals. We're not going to go over that right now. Most of your time you're just going to go ahead and choose one of these and then choose the field you want to total or average or count. So it's very important when you do count to choose the right field. If I happen to choose a field that it's on, which is date of birth right now, and 10 of my records have the date of birth on it, but the 11th doesn't, well, it's only going to count 10, not 11. That's because it only counts fields or records that have that field filled in. So it's very important when you're doing a count, you realize that sometimes you may want it to work that way, sometimes you may want it to actually just count the record. So I always choose a field that I know has a value in it. That will be our serial number field. We're not going to delete it. We're not going to say, oh, we don't want to have that field in the database anymore. Serial number is going to stay in there forever, and it's going to automatically populate. A great way to make sure that you're counting something and counting the records. So we'll click OK. There it is. Double check a count of serial. Click OK. Find that count field. There it is. Click OK. Puts it in there. Move it right in there. See how I'm matching it up and lining it up with this field by just using that little line that comes out of the field. Makes it much easier. We've got it in there, and now we can go into browse mode. And you see now we have 1 for this category, 40 for this category, 2 for this category, 1 for this category. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this one into a different category, I think. So let's go ahead and change the form and put myself into a category. I'm feeling kind of lonely there. So we'll go ahead and put us into, let's say, we'll give nonprofit one more in that category. There we go. Go back to our report by category. You can see it's already sorted me down in there. So we have 2 there, and then 40. So let's go ahead and see how we can get a grand total. We're going to go into layout mode. We're going to go ahead and duplicate this field. It's going to be offset 6 to the right and 6 down. So I'm going to move it first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left, and then simply move it down. Now what we need to move it down to is to a different type of part. So I'm going to insert this part. Just drag this part tool here. Right there, looks good. And I can put anything below the body. See how I've dragged it below the body here? I can put a sub-summary, a trailing grand summary, or a footer. What I want is a trailing grand summary here because I want a grand total. I want a grand total after all the records that we've sub-summarized. And so we choose that, click OK, and we'll move this down into there. And just so it's clear, I'm going to underline it. And now we can go to browse mode and see what it looks like. You can see we still have 40, and then 2 and 2, and then we have a grand total of 44 at the end. And if we go to preview mode, we'll see that we have the 40 here. Go to the next page. We have the 2 there, and then the 44. It always comes after the records. It's not like a footer where it's at the bottom of the page. It comes after the last record that you have in that report. So I really like combining these sub-summaries and trailing grand summaries. They really help you out to see different types of information. Now, what you also want to understand is that we've used exactly the same count summary field in this part, the trailing grand summary, versus this part, the sub-summary. Summary fields are context sensitive. They know where they're at. Depending on what part you put them in, they do something different. So that's really an important concept to understand. You don't have to make 2 count summary fields. You'll need to make 1. In fact, you're going to see that we only have to make 1 for the entire table no matter what kind of report you're doing. They're very versatile.